Hi friends, today we're going to be creating Yayoi Kusama inspired paintings or drawings. Here are the instructions.
Today we're going to look at the works of Yayoi Kusama. She's known also as the Princess of Dots. Yayoi Kusama is a Japanese artist who is sometimes called the Princess of Dots. Although she makes lots of different types of arts, painting, sculptures, performance, and installations, they all have one thing in common: dots. This is a piece of art she did when she was only 10 years old, and you can see that she was already using dots in her artwork. Yayoi Kusama tells the story of how when she was a little girl, she had a dream that freaked her out. She was in a field of flowers when they all started talking to her. The heads of the flowers were like dots that went on as far as she could see, and she felt as if she was disappearing, or as she calls it, self-obliterating, into this field of endless dots. This weird experience influenced most of her later work. By adding all over marks and dots to her painting, drawings, objects, clothes, she feels as if she's making them and herself melt into and become part of the bigger universe. She says, "Our Earth is only one dot among a million stars in the cosmos. Polka dots are a way to infinity. When we obliterate nature and our bodies with polka dots, we become part of the unity of our environment." Today, she is 91 years old, and you might even know her. We have a piece in the Papa John Sculpture Park that we can see anytime we want. I like the way she thinks about dots and different shapes. I want to look at her artwork and make our own abstract painting. We are going to use Yayoi Kusama as inspiration for our abstract painting or drawing. Check out some of her paintings for inspiration. This painting is called Endless Life of People. Notice all the dots and the lines that create faces. What other shapes and patterns can you see in this? The next painting is called The Butterfly. I like how she uses her dots within the butterfly and creates a different pattern in the background, making it kind of clash. I think that we might be able to use Q-tips to create some of these dots. These paintings are an installation that are called My Eternal Soul. I think they look a lot like amoebas that you might find underneath a microscope in a science class. There aren't very many hard lines, and they're mostly organic shapes. Look at how the colors play with each other. I like how the shapes and the colors complement each other so that they all look very lively, almost like they're moving under that microscope. So we'll be making abstract paintings or drawings. Here are the materials you'll need. I'm going to show you my Yayoi Kusama inspired piece using just washable paints that I had around the house. They're pretty light, but they're going to do the job. The first thing I'm going to do is dampen my brush and then fill the background with a solid color. If you don't have paints at home, don't worry. You can use just a white piece of paper, and like the first image we saw of her work, you can just create your lines and dots and shapes on top of it. I'm going to cover this whole paper. All right, I'm almost done here, so I'm gonna just touch up the edges, clean my brush, and let it dry till the next step. Again, don't worry if you don't have paint at home. Grab your Sharpies, markers, color pencils, and I'll show you the next step. All right, now that the paper has dried to the touch, I can start adding my different organic shapes and dots to my paper. I got a lot of different colors on my sheet. I probably won't use all of this paint, but I'm gonna do my best. So I'm just gonna start with red, and I'm just going to create one of her amoeba-like shapes. I like to look at her artwork while I'm creating something inspiring from her, but not copy it completely. Okay, I'm going to fill in my shape and then start creating more organic shapes and dots with different colors around the paper. I want to make sure that people want to look around the whole piece of art, not just in one spot. So I want to keep it really lively and have the colors play off each other just like Kusama does in her artwork. Here I'm going to add a border. So I'm going to create a pattern of different shapes to create a border around the entire piece of paper. Now that I've filled the entire page with organic shapes and dots, I'm going to outline them with black. I think I'm going to use a Sharpie here though, so I need to let my entire painting dry first. All right, now that it's dry, I'm gonna grab a few Sharpies so that when one runs out, I can try another one. What I'm gonna do is outline my shapes so that it really creates depth and they stand out. I'm also gonna add dots and hash marks with my black marker to give my amoebas some more movement and more pattern. So I'm going to speed up the video. Here's my final Yayoi Kusama inspired piece. I love how the black made all my shapes look like they have some movement. Remember, you can do this with colored pencils or markers. Everyone should look different because you're the one who's creating it. Have fun, and I can't wait to see your final pieces.
I hope you had as much fun as I did. I love my finished product. See you next week.